Welcome in, whiskey freaks, to the blind tasting podcast, Splash and Dash Edition. This is where I skip the history lessons and I get right down to tasting something I think I'll like, and you might like it too. Today I'm finally cracking open a couple bottles I've had around the house for a while now, and I got them both for super cheap in my opinion, and I believe it's time to pit them against one another. And the crazy thing is, I think they might be either cousins or maybe brothers. Now, I bought these bottles myself specifically for the podcast, and that's something you can always count on here at the Blind Tasting Podcast. I buy my own whiskey, because if the distillery sent it to me for free, then I'd probably give them a good review, or at least a decent review, right? And why would a guy bite the hand that feeds him? Yeah, that's those other guys. That's not me, kids. So you're probably wondering, what are we pitting against one another today here on the pod? Well, first, let me tell you why I chose these two to do battle today. Now, I've been watching the TTB. You know, I've been bringing you news on the pod about upcoming labels that are coming down the pike. And I can tell by checking the good folks at the U.S. government TTB what's going to be coming in the near future, usually, right? And guess what's coming down the pike probably very soon? Members Mark bottled in bond straight bourbon whiskey. Now, it's Sam's Club brand that's produced by Barton 1792. And it puts it out for them. They put their name on it, and you can pick it up at your local Sam's Club. It's usually ridiculously cheap. So the fact that that's coming out soon inspired me to dig a couple bottles out of my pile and review them here today with you guys. I've got Members Mark small batch straight bourbon whiskey, and it comes in at 90 proof. Going head-to-head against 1792 small batch straight bourbon whiskey from our good friends at Barton 1792 Distillery. So these are both kind of cousins or bros or whatever. And the 1792 small batch comes in at 93.7 proof. And it's kind of like the bigger brother, I guess, but that's pretty close to me. So I want to see how these two stack up against each other. Couple of reasons. If they're pretty much the same thing, you're going to save some serious money. And if they're not the same, then fair warning. Let's start with price. Like I already said, they're both super affordable. It's cheap, whatever you want to call it. Now, the Members Mark, not to be confused with Maker's Mark, was $19, and the 1792 small batch was $26. Now I think that you can pick it up for somewhere between $28 and $30, but I got it for $26. I do remember that. I'm going to go ahead and pour each one into their respective rocks glasses. And the 1792 small batch. All right, so I've got them all poured. They're getting a little bit of air. All right, so I want to, I always like to talk about the color. And I'm looking at them. I've got good lighting down here. Don't worry about that. And I never want to look at the color inside the bottle. I always want to put it in a clear glass. And so I've got two clear rocks glasses here. And the Members Mark, right? It's on my left here. The color of the Members Mark, I'd call it straw yellow. And right off the bat, and look, I don't see well, but I can tell that the 1792 is a full 2 shades darker than the Members Mark. So right off the bat, I'm kind of getting better vibes off the 1792. You know how I feel about it when I say the color of whiskey? Well, I say a couple of things, actually. Never judge the color inside the bottle. You got to pour it in a glass. I already said that. And the color will sometimes give you an idea of the breadth of flavors you're about to receive in your mouth. In my opinion, the darker the hue of the whiskey in your glass, the deeper the flavors. And that's not always true. It is sometimes, it is most of the time. It's worth telling you guys, and I'm going to say it every single time. Now, neither one of these whiskeys has an age statement, but we can infer, and for those of you with infinity bottles, that means assume, that both are at least 4 years old. And we know this because there's no age statement on the bottles. It's a straight Kentucky bourbon. Let me nose the Members Mark first. Like I said, I've got them side by side, the Members Mark on the left, the 1792 on the right. So I'm getting, right off the bat, I'm getting a light alcohol wafting out of the glass of the Members Mark. It's not a lot, but there's some. And I'm getting a faint caramel and faint vanilla. There's really not much else going on here. Let me grab the 1792. Yeah, so that's so interesting. 0 alcohol. And right off the bat, I'm getting this rich note of caramel and an oakiness that's coming off this thing. Look, this stuff, I mean, right, this stuff's got to be the older of the two brothers, right? Just judging by color and now the nose, that the caramel note is, God, it's calling my name here in the 1792. I can't wait to taste this. Oh, wait. I forgot to mention the mash bill. Well, there's really not much to mention about the mash bill. It isn't actually known, but it's presumed it's a high rye mash, and it's undisclosed, but the rye content is believed to be somewhere between 15 to 25%. So I'm making that assumption that these two bourbons really share this mash bill. I have no reason to think otherwise, and so that's what I'm doing today. All right, let's drink these things. I'm going to start, again, with the Members Mark small batch. It's 90 proof. Okay, mouthfeel's not bad. It's maybe slightly below average. I wouldn't call it thin, but I wouldn't call it medium. Maybe between those two areas there. Still getting a decent amount of caramel. A touch of vanilla here. Let me get another sip of the Members Mark. Okay, so that rye spice, remember this is a high rye mash supposedly. So that rye spice is coming through now. It's kind of a mild rye spice though. Nothing bold. It's kind of muted. It's there. It's good, but it's not a strong spice. We get one more sip here of the Members Mark. Okay, the finish is decent-ish. It's not great, and I kind of wish it was a bit longer. Insert your favorite joke from The Office. Now I got to keep reminding myself this was $19, and yeah, the caramel is there. The mild rye spice is there, but it's not bringing anything notable to the table. I mean, it's okay. So let me cleanse my palate. Kind of rude to talk and eat. Sorry about that. I'm not sure I mentioned this part yet, but I picked up the Members Mark. It's a Sam's Club brand. It was about 4 months ago. They don't have it on the shelf anymore at Sam's Club. So I don't know if they're going to have it again, but I know they're going to have this bottled in bond soon based on the TTB labels. The 1792 small batch I got for $26 at Walmart, and that was last year. And like I said, I'm just now cracking them open today. Yeah, I know I've got a shit ton of whiskey here in the house. All right, I am ready to go back to tasting. Let me get a little sip of this 1792. I think I mentioned it, but I'm going to say it again. My wife says I repeat myself a lot. I'm not sure I believe that, but anyway, this comes in at 93.7 proof. Dang. Wow, the contrast here is strong. And what I mean by that is I'm getting a super awesome caramel note, a serious presence here right off the first sip. It's a caramel blast. And again, I'm comparing it. So, I mean, if I was comparing it to 1792 full proof, it may not be as satisfying or as caramely up front. But here today, against this Members Mark, this is a big contrast right off the first sip. Let me get another sip. Yeah, that high rye mash comes through even stronger here than with the Members Mark. with the 1792, the caramel's like, I mean business. It's like, I'm not going to be ignored here. And the mouthfeel, to me, it's above average for sure. And I used the word rich before when I talked about the caramel. And rich is how I would describe this, especially as it's in contrast to the Members Mark. One more sip real quick. Okay, you get a bit of vanilla. Cozies up to that caramel and that rye real well. But I'm telling you, the biggest bang here is the caramel. The sweetness meshes really well with that rye spice real nicely. So what's the verdict? Well, we'll find out right after the money spot. Are you looking to update your bar or man cave with some great photographs or wall art? Head over to Etsy at famousdocs.etsy.com and pick up some fantastic Prohibition, bourbon, whiskey, and gangster-related photographs and art. Okay, guys, you got to check this stuff out. They've got photos and stuff on Al Capone, John Dillinger, Bonnie and Clyde, all kinds of cool photos from Prohibition over there. And if you purchase 4 or more items, you'll get 20% off your entire order for a limited time. That's famousdocs.etsy.com, famousdocs.etsy.com. So we have 3 potential verdict options here on the Blind Tasting Podcast. We can keep it, which means to proudly display it in your liquor cabinet or bar. This stuff's good for a pour anytime, but there's really no need to stock up on it since it's always available. Collect it. Grab another bottle or 2 since you find it so damn delicious, or it just may not be easy to get your hands on. And lastly, cull it. Use it to loosen rusty bolts or sanitize a dirty toilet. In my head-to-head between Members Mark 90 proof straight bourbon whiskey and 1792 small batch, I say, keep them. Yeah, keep them both. And it's really a no-brainer here for a couple reasons. You can't lose. I mean, if you want something for a mixer or to give to a newbie, the Members Mark, $19, it's just a stupid good deal. And look, what I would do is scrape together the pocket change from your couch cushions, pony up the extra, like $8, get the 1792. Seriously, if you enjoy a deeper finish with a bit more substance to it and want a mellow sipping experience, the 1792 is going to be your jam. Spend the extra money. The proof point is higher, and clearly the 1792 is older. It's got to be, and it shows dramatically here in my contrast in this side-by-side, this head-to-head competition. It's really no competition in my mind. Now, is 1792 small batch a symphony in your mouth? Well, no, not hardly. I mean, I've had Little Book Chapter 7. Now, that to me was a symphony in my mouth. But 1792 brings what it brings, and it brings it well, and it brings the bang for the buck. So whiskey freaks, stay tuned to upcoming episodes, because it looks like the Members Mark Bottled in Bond is coming soon. That inspired this episode today, and I'm going to try to secure some of it when it appears on the shelves at Sam's Club, and I'm going to review it here on the pod. Look, I'm just that kind of guy. I'm just willing to take one for the team. You're welcome. So guys, thanks for listening, subscribing, and spreading the blind tasting gospel. The podcast is growing faster than a Pappy Van Winkle auction. But seriously, guys, it's getting out of hand in the best possible way. Now look, if you haven't subscribed yet on the Apple, the YouTubes, or whatever glowing screen controls your entire life basically, then you, my friend, are a naughty, naughty whiskey freak. And I need you to fix that. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a thing. Because if I drop some hot whiskey news and you're not tuned in, you're going to be sad. You're going to be like very sad. And we don't want sadness here. We want flavor. We want facts. We want whiskey freaks. So do the thing. Subscribe and be happy. Well, that's all I got for today, whiskey freaks. Thanks for listening to the Blind Tasting Podcast, Splash and Dash Edition. Huzzah!